Hello there, a very good evening and welcome to another edition of Primetime News on TV1. I'm Charlene Benedict for the Newsfirst team.
And I'm Umitra Bekun. Let's take a look at your headlines for tonight.
India announces $450 million reconstruction package for Sri Lanka. J. Shankar convenes Prime Minister Modi's message to President Dissanayaka. China confident in Sri Lanka's recovery under current leadership. Why was Udapalata Pradeshya Sabha closed for 5 days? Essential Services Commissioner calls for investigation. Inflation drops in November. Veteran actor Kalashuri Satish Chandra Edri Singha passes away. Final rites on Friday at Borella Cemetery.
Starting off with your top story tonight, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has sent a special letter to President Anurakumara Dissanayaka, assuring him of India's support as a trusted partner and a reliable friend.
The letter was delivered to President Anurakumara Dissanayaka by External Affairs Minister of India Dr. S. J. Shankar, who arrived in the island as Prime Minister Modi's special envoy to discuss how India can cooperate with Sri Lanka in relief and rehabilitation in the wake of Cyclone Ditwa. In the letter, Prime Minister Modi writes, quote, "As in the past, we will stand shoulder to shoulder with you in rebuilding lives and ensuring resilience in Sri Lanka," unquote. Prime Minister Modi goes on to state, quote, "I am confident that Sri Lanka will rise again, stronger than ever before. In this journey, as in its national development and progress, Sri Lanka will always find India by its side," unquote.
Indian External Affairs Minister Dr. S. J. Shankar informed President Anurakumara Dissanayaka that India will provide a reconstruction package worth $450 million to Sri Lanka.
Visiting Sri Lanka as a special envoy of Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, External Affairs Minister Dr. S. J. Shankar met President Anurakumara Dissanayaka at the President's office. During the meeting, Dr. J. Shankar officially conveyed Prime Minister Modi's commitment to provide a reconstruction package worth $450 million to Sri Lanka in the aftermath of Cyclone Ditwa. Of this package, $100 million will be provided as a grant. The remaining $350 million will be extended as concessional credit facilities. Dr. J. Shankar stated that the assistance will focus on 5 key sectors: rehabilitation and restoration of roads, railways and bridges, construction of houses fully destroyed and partially damaged, support for health and education sectors, particularly those affected by the cyclone, reviving agriculture including addressing short and medium-term shortages, improving disaster response and preparedness for future emergencies.
The letter from Prime Minister Modi that I handed over builds on our first responder role and commits a reconstruction package of $450 million to Sri Lanka. Our talks centered around how expeditiously this commitment can be delivered. As your closest neighbor and in line with our Neighborhood First and Mahasagar policies, it was only natural that India stepped forward at a time when Sri Lanka faced a crisis. We have done so when you were going through economic difficulties as well. In the case of Cyclone Ditwa, you would appreciate that India has also been a strong advocate of cooperative disaster response. The Coalition for Disaster Resilient Infrastructure was a notable initiative that we led in this regard. Recognizing the urgency of rebuilding, Prime Minister Modi directed that we now engage with the Sri Lankan government to address their priorities in that regard. The assistance package that we have proposed is worth $450 million. It will include $350 million in concessional lines of credit and $100 million of grants. This package is being finalized in close consultation with the government of Sri Lanka. Our assistance will cover sectors worst affected by the cyclone, including 1. Rehabilitation and restoration of road, railway and bridge connectivity. 2. Support for construction of houses fully destroyed and partially damaged. 3. Support for health and education systems, in particular those that have been damaged by the cyclone. 4. agriculture, including to address possible shortages in the short and medium term. And 5, working towards better disaster response and preparedness. Friends, we fully recognize that this is a very difficult period for Sri Lanka. Just as it was recovering from the economic crisis of 2022, this natural disaster has created new difficulties. We have seen in the past the strong resolve and strength among the people of Sri Lanka to overcome challenges and to march ahead. I can assure you that India stands firmly with Sri Lanka more than ever before, and I'm sure that Sri Lanka will once again demonstrate its great resilience in recovering from this adversity.
During the meeting, President Dissanayake conveyed sincere gratitude for the compassionate support provided by the government of India, led by the Indian Prime Minister, in being one of the first to aid the Sri Lankan people impacted by Cyclone Ditwa. The President had noted that this exceptional cooperation marks a new chapter in Indo-Sri Lanka relations. Following the official meeting between President Anurukumara Dissanayake and Indian External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar, diplomatic delegations from both countries commenced bilateral discussions. In a symbolic gesture marking India's $450 million reconstruction package for Sri Lanka, the Bailey Bridge on the A35 road in Kilinochchi was officially inaugurated virtually.
We remain deeply grateful to Prime Minister Modi, to Dr. Jaishankar and to the people of India. As Dr. Jaishankar is aware, Sri Lanka's tourism sector has rebounded following Cyclone Ditwa, and all tourist attractions are now fully operational. India remains the largest source of tourists to Sri Lanka, and a positive message from you, Dr. Jaishankar, would greatly enhance traveller confidence and encourage continued visits. Dr. Jaishankar, I thank you once again for your visit and for the steadfast support extended by the government and people of India to Sri Lanka.
Indian External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar, visiting Sri Lanka as the special envoy of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, met Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya today, reaffirming India's steadfast commitment to Sri Lanka's recovery following Cyclone Ditwa. During the meeting, Dr. Jaishankar emphasized that the $450 million reconstruction package announced by India reflects the deep and enduring ties between the two nations. The Indian Foreign Minister also held discussions with Minister of Foreign Affairs Vijit Herath, Minister of Health and Mass Media Dr. Nalinda Jatis and other senior officials. Following his official visit to the country, Indian External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar left the island this evening. The Indian External Affairs Minister left on the same special Indian Air Force aircraft in which he arrived yesterday. A group of officials, including the Indian High Commissioner to Sri Lanka, Santosh Jha, along with senior officials from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, were present at the Bandaranaike International Airport during the minister's departure.
A Chinese delegation led by Wang Zhuzheng, member of the 20th Central Committee of the Communist Party of China and secretary of the CPC Committee of Zhejiang Autonomous Region, called on President Anurukumara Dissanayake.
Wang Zhuzheng, member of the 20th Central Committee of the Communist Party of China and secretary of the CPC Committee of Zhejiang Autonomous Region, had stated during the meeting that China will continue to provide all necessary support to Sri Lanka and expressed readiness to share China's experience in implementing the Rebuilding Sri Lanka program. President Dissanayake extended his gratitude for the humanitarian assistance provided by China during the recent disaster and appreciated China's unwavering support in helping Sri Lanka recover during this challenging period. The President also briefed the Chinese delegation further on the progress and objectives of the Rebuilding Sri Lanka initiative. Wang Zhuzheng further announced that China will ensure the continuity of ongoing projects in Sri Lanka with Chinese government support and assist in launching new development projects. Meanwhile, speaking at a conference held in Colombo this afternoon, Wang Zhuzheng said that China firmly believes that President Anurukumara Dissanayake has the capability to lead Sri Lanka's recovery from the disaster situation.
China is deeply concerned about the natural disasters in Sri Lanka. We express our deepest condolence to the victims as well as to the families of the victims and the injured. The Chinese government and the people of Sri Lanka are working together to provide relief funds and supplies to Sri Lanka. I believe that under the leadership of the Sri Lankan government, we will be able to overcome the natural disaster as soon as possible and rebuild a happy home for the people. We have always respected each other, relied on each other, and looked up to each other.
The government expects to complete the payment of the 25,000 rupees allowance provided for cleaning homes damaged by recent disasters by next week.
As of now,
98.75% has been paid in Monoragala district, 90.13% in Batiklo, 92.38% in Kegol, 93.82% in Trincomalee, 96.42% in Ratnapura, 90.4% in Hambantota and 99.5% in Gaul. In Gampaha district, there are 78,134 eligible households and payments have been made to 72,190, which is 92.49%. In Putlam, the district most affected by this disaster, by 3 p.m. on the 22nd December, payments were completed for 57,791 households, which is 61.2%. In Badulla, out of 17,136 households, 11,738 have been paid. In Colombo, 42,278 payments have been made out of 71,186. There is no issue with decision making now. State officials, including Grama Niladaris, are working efficiently. No additional signatures are required. Designated teams have already identified eligible recipients. Therefore, payments are being processed quickly and we expect to achieve 100% completion by next week.
ලෝක බැංකුවේ ප්‍රකාශයක් කළ ඇමරිකානු ඩොලර් බිලියන 4.1ක ලාභයක් සිද්ධ වෙලා තියෙනවා කියලා මුදල් නියෝජ්‍යමතුමා එක ගානක් කිව්වා. ඇත්තටම ගණනය කිරීම කරලා අවසන්ද?
නෑ, තවම සවිස්තරාත්මක ගණනය කිරීම කරලා අවසන් එහෙම කරන්නට බෑ.
No, detailed calculations have not yet been completed. It cannot be done immediately. This assessment is being carried out with World Bank assistance. The President mentioned this in Parliament after the disaster occurred. The figure of $4.1 billion is only a preliminary estimate. A comprehensive assessment will take about 3 months. This is the usual time frame for such reports. However, based on these preliminary figures, we can proceed with planning. Ministries have also conducted their own internal calculations, though initial estimates may have had shortcomings. Now, with the World Bank data, we can move toward a more accurate overall assessment and begin work accordingly.
බැංකුවත් ඉදිරිපත් කරන සංඛ්‍යා ලේඛන මත පදනම් වල අපිට පුළුවනි යම් දල තක්සේරුවක් යන්නට ඒ අනුව අපි වැඩ කටයුතු ආරම්භ කරනවා.
Essential Services Commissioner General Prabhat Chandrakirti has informed the Secretary to the Ministry of Public Administration, Provincial Councils and Local Government to conduct an investigation into the closure of the Udapalata Pradeshya Sabha for 5 days during the disaster period. Now, this is a Pradeshya Sabha where the opposition coalition holds power.
In a letter addressed to the Secretary, the Commissioner General highlighted that a special Gazette notification had been issued declaring a state of public emergency in the country and designating services of local government institutions as essential services. He emphasized that under such circumstances, closing the Udapalata Pradeshya Sabha for 5 days and failing to provide services constitutes a punishable offence. Newsfirst contacted Shantha Navaratna, chairman of the Udapalata Pradeshya Sabha representing the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna, regarding the allegations. He strongly denied the accusations, stating that the council premises had been without electricity for several days. Navaratna explained that due to the prevailing situation, certain requests from institutions had to be submitted in handwritten letters. He also pointed out that the council lacked adequate machinery to clear debris in the affected areas. The 2026 budget of the Colombo Municipal Council was defeated, showcasing the strength of the opposition according to Mujibur Rahman, Deputy General Secretary of the Samagi Jana Balawegya. The budget received 60 votes against, while the ruling party secured 57 votes in favour. 3 independent councillors who previously supported the National People's Power during the mayoral election voted against the budget this time. Mujibur Rahman stated that this marks a victory for the opposition.
We have sent a clear message to the government. They have no power within this municipal council. We have proven that from tomorrow onwards, the Colombo Municipal Council will be governed by the united opposition, and we remind the government of that fact. At the Cabinet Decision Media briefing, the Cabinet spokesperson responded to remarks made by parliamentarian Mujibur Rahman.
After the budget was defeated yesterday, MP Mujibur Rahman went around last night claiming that he is now the mayor. I am not sure under which Provincial Council Act or Constitution such a provision exists. According to the prevailing law, when a budget is defeated, another budget can be presented. If that fails too, the mayor can still continue to manage the council for 2 years. There is no separate law for Colombo. Therefore, we will act according to the law. We expect that during the next vote, opposition members will help pass the budget because approving it is essential for the functioning of the Colombo Municipal Council.
එකතු වීම හරහා තිබ්බ විශ්වාසය රැකගන්න මේ සභාවල් වලට බැරි වෙච්ච එක විශේෂයෙන්ම කොළඹ නගර සභාවට බැරි වෙච්ච එක මේක ගැටලුවක් නෙවෙයිද ඒක පොදු සූත්‍රයක් නෙවෙයි.
No, that's not a universal principle. It varies from place to place. Regardless of which party holds power, these situations arise. Some councillors make decisions not purely on policy but based on circumstances or past experiences within the council. Those who voted against the budget this time may vote in favour next time. So let's wait and see what happens. One defeated budget in the Colombo Municipal Council does not change the entire country. That is important to remember.
The Democratic National Alliance also held a media briefing today.
These individuals are opposing a budget that allocates funds for the people of this country, for their welfare and for essential infrastructure projects. Roads, water supply systems, sewage systems, these are being upgraded and modernized to improve lives and create a better tomorrow for our citizens. Yet they oppose this budget. We ask them, what is the reason for this opposition? We challenge all party representatives to come forward publicly and explain why they voted against this budget. We remind them that the role of the opposition should not lead to public discontent through such actions. Let me also remind Mujibur Rahman and others, even though the first vote was defeated, there is a second vote, a third vote and a fourth vote ahead. So let's see how this game unfolds in the coming rounds.
The second generation movement expressed views at today's media briefing.
We have
seen that even during this disaster, the same old traditional political groups continued their usual politics. We want to remind everyone that the second generation is not part of that. We also call on the opposition at a time when the people have already rejected you. Do not engage in disruptive actions. Instead, stand together and work for the people of this country. If not, remember, the same people who pulled you away from the ruling party and placed you in the opposition can remove you from there too. Therefore, we urge all parties to act with humanity, avoid divisive politics and work collectively for the people. Likewise, we remind the government that during this time of disaster, you must think as one and seek everyone's cooperation to rebuild the nation.
News First with the people.
Sri Lanka mourns the loss of a legendary figure in the performing arts. Kalasuri Satish Chandra Singha, a veteran actor who made an indelible mark on Sinhala theatre, cinema and television, passed away early this morning at the age of 84.
Born on the 11th of February 1941 in Kelaniya, Satish Chandra Singha received his education at Varagoda Government Boys School, Sri Dharmaloka Vidyalaya, St. Mary's College Alutgama, Stafford College Maradana and Vidyodaya Pirivena Maliga Kanda. His artistic journey began with the radio drama Seri Vanija before stepping onto the stage with Vesantara and entering cinema through the iconic film Sampath in 1966. From there, he became a household name showcasing his versatility across stage, television and film. His performances in teledramas such as Palingu Menike, Susima, Tara Devi, Tikiri Nilame and Mihi Katage Daruwo remained etched in the hearts of audiences. On the big screen, he contributed to classics like Sadol Kandulu, Harimaga, Siddhadiyen Hayak, Pujitayo, Matara Achi, Rajagedara Paraviyo, Gehanu Lamai, Podimalli, Kotivaligaya, Kristu Charitaya, Muan Pelese Kadira, and Vakande Valawa. As a playwright, his creations include Bakatapas, Attik Kamal Pipila, Hotabari Yudde, Tahanchi and Sokkano Rajano, which enriched Sinhala theatre. Ediri Singha was not only an actor but also a writer, teacher, director and scriptwriter, serving the nation through multiple artistic disciplines. His directorial venture, Madara Archie, in 1973 featured the immensely popular song Sandakada Pahana, sung by his brother Sunil Ediri Singha. The remains of Satish Chandra Ediri Singha are currently at his residence in Nungamugoda, Kelaniya. Final rites will be held on Friday afternoon at the Buralla Cemetery. A true icon who shaped the golden era of Sinhala drama and cinema.
Newsfirst, Sirasa TV, Shakti TV and TV1 were honoured with numerous awards at the 2025 State Television Awards.
The State Awards ceremony for the year 2025 was held at the National Museum Auditorium in Colombo. Amila Munasinghe from Newsfirst won the award for Best Male News Presenter, Sinhala.
වසරේ විශිෂ්ටතම ප්‍රවෘත්ති නිවේදක ලෙස සිරස රූපවාහිනියේ අමිල මුණසිංහ සම්මානයට පාත්‍ර වන මොහොත.
Omaya Kovilagodage from Newsfirst won the award for Best Female News Presenter, Sinhala. Jeffrey Jebadarshan from Newsfirst won the award for Best News Presenter, Tamil. Anista Vimalaraj of Newsfirst won the award for Best Female News Presenter, Tamil. Naveksha Gunasekar of Newsfirst won the award for Best News Presenter, English, as well as the award for Best Program Presenter, English. Selvaraj Vinodan won the award for Best Magazine Program for Good Morning Sri Lanka on Shakti TV. 5 Million Money Drop, directed by Dhammika Fonseca, won the award for Best Multi-Camera Production Program. An Awards of Merit was presented to S. Vimalanathan and Viraj Jayamana for Best Song Visualization for Shakti Crown. Shakti TV won the award for the Best Channel in the Dramatic Teledrama category, Tamil. The teledrama Nagara Nodigal, which aired on Shakti TV, won the award for the Best Teledrama in Tamil for the year 2025. The award for Best Tamil Actor went to Shemil Clinton for his role in the teledrama Nagara Nodigal, aired on Shakti TV. The State Television Awards ceremony for the years 2021 to 2024 was held yesterday, during which Sirasa TV, Newsfirst, Shakti TV and TV1 were honoured with 20 awards of excellence and 6 certificates of merit.
The closing date for the 2025 academic year has been revised. The Ministry of Education stated that accordingly, holidays will be granted for Sinhala, Tamil and Muslim schools until the 4th of next month.
The Ministry of Education also announced that the first school term for 2026 will commence for all schools on Monday, the 5th of January. Meanwhile, the Department of Examinations has requested students scheduled to sit for the postponed GCE advanced level subjects to inform them immediately if their place of residence has changed. The Commissioner General of Examinations, Indika Kumari, said that if there is a change in residence, students should notify their respective school principals or the Department of Examinations. She added that the department can be contacted regarding these matters via the numbers 011 278 4537 and 011 2788 616. The Commissioner General further advised candidates to take the necessary steps if their admission card or national identity card was destroyed in the recent disaster. It has also been decided to conduct a special mock examination for students sitting for the 2025 GCE Ordinary Level Examination. Deputy Minister of Education Dr. Madhura Senaviratna said that this is being organized as a preparatory measure for students who were affected by the island-wide disasters. Accordingly, the Deputy Minister noted that this special mock exam will be held starting from the first week of January 2026.
The second day of the LOLC Devi Savia U Me, Our Nation social welfare initiative aimed at providing relief to our own people affected by the recent disasters was held today. Today's program focused on the Kegol and Kandy districts.
For 10 consecutive days, the LOLC Divisavya program will operate across 6 districts severely impacted by the cyclone: Kandy, Matale, Kegol, Badulla, Nuwara and Ratnapura. Under this initiative, dry rations and essential items will be distributed to families whose homes suffered total damage. On this second day, relief packs were handed over to numerous affected families in Kegol and Kandy, covering areas such as Yatiyantoda, Bulat Kohupitiya, Mavanalla, Aranayaka, Pasbage and Udapalata.
According to the latest IMF country report, the devastating cyclone that struck during Sri Lanka's fragile recovery has disrupted the nation's growth momentum. Still, the IMF notes that reconstruction offers a critical opportunity to build back better, provided coordination hurdles can be overcome.
Sri Lanka's economy, which had demonstrated remarkable resilience through steadfast reforms, now faces a critical test following the devastating cyclone that struck during a fragile recovery phase, according to the latest IMF country report. Prior to the disaster, the nation was on a promising trajectory. Macroeconomic stability had been restored, inflation remained low, and gross international reserves had strengthened to cover 3 months of imports. Growth was projected to return to its potential at 3.1% by 2027, supported by a narrowing current account deficit, a rebound in tourism, and rising agricultural exports. However, the IMF warns that the cyclone has disrupted this momentum, amplifying external vulnerabilities and debt sustainability risks. The report notes, quote, "The outlook is clouded by uncertainty with downside risks dominating," end quote. Among the key risks highlighted are a potential reimposition of higher US tariffs, which could dent exports and growth, and prolonged trade policy uncertainty coupled with geopolitical tensions that threaten tourism and commodity price stability. These risks are particularly concerning as Sri Lanka remains exposed to food and fuel price shocks. The report also flags administrative capacity constraints as resources are diverted to disaster response and reconstruction, which may delay structural reforms vital for long-term development objectives. Despite these challenges, the IMF sees a silver lining. The reconstruction phase offers an opportunity to build back better and strengthen resilience. Yet, the report cautions that coordination hurdles could lead to implementation delays and under-execution, limiting the potential benefits of rebuilding efforts.
Newsfirst, main sponsor.
Valuable FD, the symbol of stability.
Welcome back to the news. Sri Lanka's inflation has declined in November.
According to the National Consumer Price Index, Sri Lanka's inflation rate dropped in November 2025 compared to the previous month. In October, inflation stood at 2.7%, while in November it decreased to 2.4%, as reported by the Department of Census and Statistics.
Moving on to news overseas, President Donald Trump reasserted that the United States needs Greenland for its national security and said a special envoy he appointed to the Arctic island would lead the charge.
Trump named Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry on Sunday as his special envoy to Greenland, drawing renewed criticism from Denmark and Greenland over Washington's interest in the mineral-rich Arctic island. Trump has advocated for Greenland, a self-governing Danish territory, to become part of the United States, citing its strategic importance and mineral resources. Landry, who took office as governor in January 2024, publicly supports the idea. Trump told reporters in Palm Beach, quote-unquote, "We need Greenland for national security, not for minerals. If you take a look at Greenland, you look up and down the coast. You have Russian and Chinese ships all over the place. We need it for national security. We have to have it," adding that Landry wanted to lead the charge.
Thank you, sir. You've named Governor Landry to be new special envoy to Greenland.
Yeah.
How do you? What do you see that role entailing? And is it still your intention that Greenland become part of the U.S.?
He viewed Louisiana, the Louisiana Purchase. He said, "I'm governor of Louisiana," and he said, "I would love." I didn't call him; he called me. He's very proactive. He's a great guy. He's a deal guy. He's a deal maker type guy. And we need it for national protection. We need Greenland for national protection. They have a very small population. And I don't know, they say Denmark, but Denmark has spent no money. They have no military protection. If they say that Denmark was there 300 years ago or something with a boat, well, we were there with boats too, I'm sure. So we'll have to work it all out. But he felt very strongly, we need it for we need Greenland for national security. Not for minerals. We have so many sites for minerals and oil and everything. We have more oil than any other country in the world. We need Greenland for national security. And if you take a look at Greenland, you look up and down the coast, you have Russian and Chinese ships all over the place. We need it for national security. We have to have it. And he wanted to lead the charge. So we're making him, Marco, today, a special envoy to Greenland. Greenland's a big deal.
Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen and Greenland's Prime Minister Jens Frederik Nielsen earlier said in a joint statement that Greenland belongs to Greenlanders.
President Donald Trump has confirmed the U.S. Coast Guard is still pursuing a vessel in international waters near Venezuela as tensions in the region escalate.
The Trump administration has accused Venezuela of using oil money to fund drug-related crime, while Venezuela has described the tanker seizures as piracy. A U.S. official told foreign media the current chase is related to a sanctioned dark fleet vessel that is part of Venezuela's illegal sanctions evasion. British Maritime Risk Management Group Vanguard identified the tanker as Bella 1, a very large crude oil carrier which reportedly was on its way to Venezuela to pick up oil. The U.S. added the Bella 1 to its sanctions list last year for allegedly carrying sanctioned cargo. When it added the Bella 1 to its sanctions list, the U.S. Treasury Department accused its registered owner of having links to Iran and of providing support to Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps.
The second T20 international between India and Sri Lanka women is underway in Visakhapatnam, India. India won the toss and elected to field first. Batting first, Sri Lanka managed to put on a score of 128 runs for the loss of 9 wickets. India, chasing a target of 129, are currently at 113 runs for the loss of 2 wickets at the end of 10 overs. And that's a wrap of Primetime News on TV1 for tonight.
Thank you for watching. Good night.